There's a lot of value up there in addition to her W. So many things go in Aurelia's favor in those matchups, even though it is a super knife fight.
Well, the Silas is going to be the final ban here, as the Olaf was already banned away alongside it. We'll see what Chovy's going to do as far as trying to add some more magic damage to this composition. They do probably want it, considering Aurelia's more physical aspects. There's Damwon with 10 seconds to go, probably going to lock away a support, but no, looks like Canyon's going to be able to pick up the Clid BDD duo with the Rek'Sai being locked in. This was the original pick for Canyon when he debuted, and it is going to be locked in. So Rek'Sai Zoe coming in now for Damwon. And the Tremor Sense plus the bubble is just so scary as you get to mid to late game, but it does mean that the Morgana gets through once again, and this bottom lane is going to continue to be difficult for Damwon, depending on whether or not Beryl has something sneaky up his sleeve.
Well, the Morgana is being hovered. Will she end up getting locked in? This is abusable by Damwon. No, it's going to be the Ornn. And so again, this still doesn't mean that Chovy couldn't go top lane with the Aurelia, but the...
Okay.
Hello there. hello. Darling. Okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, even more of that poke on the bottom side of the map would be a little bit more of a dangerous choice because you don't have the Black Shield to mitigate the CC, and you want that into the Zoe, so that's why Morgana is locked in. As that is going to be the Ornn, likely to be in the mid lane. It's who's piloting it. It's going to be the question. Is Beryl back on the Bard once again? And the poke flavor coming out of Damwon's composition is just insane. Even Rek'Sai with poke options.
There's a lot more stick in this DRX team composition. Also, want to point out the itemization is much more difficult now for Damwon on their team. So they're not just going to be able to stack MR. The Jace is also going to be less potent than the set the longer that this game goes. So we have a very similar draft, but DRX have a lot more gears available to them, and they also have a lot of scary scaling on some of their champions. So doesn't look like it will be the Aurelia on top for Doran. He's going to have the Ornn. Ornn historically was one of the answers to Jace alongside Yorick back in the day. And we've seen this matchup play out and go both ways. It is Ornn favored. Ornn's the one that has control. But if he messes up, Jace can just run away with the game.
Yeah, and Nuggery's Jace is always with the ability to run away with the game. This is a terrifying draft out from Damwon. If they have any sort of control around the mid game, it's going to be so hard for this more team fighting based comp to actually win out of DRX. However, on the side of DRX, the Varus is really standing out. This lane has been fantastic for this team so often, and Chovy is choosing to play the Aurelia into the Zoe, even though nowadays it's not the matchup that it used to be, with the fact that you used to be able to mitigate magic damage as well. That is no longer the case, and these paddle stars will still ring true despite the W coming out from the Aurelia. So Chovy just must be feeling himself in this matchup, and we'll see whether it is going to be for better or worse.
Well, here we have Jace riding on his... I don't even know. You know, like,
hammer? Is it still called
like
a hammer when it looks like
almost, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me
mace?
of no, Harry Potter didn't have like, what was the television series? It was like guitars that looked like brooms that, you know what I'm talking about? Or maybe it is Harry Potter, like the Quidditch. You know what?
Yeah, but they were never guitars, I don't think. I think they were just brooms. Unless Harry Potter's changed. I don't know.
Maybe I'm very Papega right now. Atlas,
potentially.
Yeah, I will look that up as you take a look at the runes. There's a Scorch on Jace.
Yep, he's going for that early game, as that's probably going to be about the extent of his relevance as far as doing damage to the Ornn, as Noggery does have a penchant for going towards the more lethality-based Jace. So you can understand why he's doing it. He's gone Cull Star yet again. This is exactly what Noggery does into the Ornn matchup every single time on the Jace. So very happy to pick this into Ornn's often. And Doran's decided that he wants to go down the more scaling route, as they do discover that the blue buff is where the Sejuani's starting. And Doran's going to wander back towards this top lane to try and deal with what Noguri is going to be throwing at him.
Well, we'll see how well Doran can stabilize here against the Jace. Has a very easy time itemizing against the Jace and the Rek'Sai, but Nuguri, in true Nuguri fashion, with the call start, Doran, in very disturbing fashion, elects to take a trade against a Jace that was able to proc the Conqueror and now has a fantastic lane state. So,
yeah, and Doran I don't think has actually killed any minions yet. So this is tough times for the Ornn, but he's able to get back and, you know, uses his little smith's hammer to try and take down some minions. Does so with his little boulder there, but you can see Noguri is just going to shove this wave in and continue to put on the pressure, as he should have the acceleration gate and his shock blast. As Chovy is going to take a lot of poke in this lane. Currently 8-3 so far in the LCK. And we'll see whether that is going to continue to rise. Because, of course, remember, this was back with the old Aurelia that was a little bit more powerful, one could say, than in her current state.
Yeah. Chovy is going to be hard-pressed to try to win this matchup. This is Zoe favored, and we'll have to see what ends up happening. Now, it's not a common matchup, though, that much anymore. You don't get a lot of practice on this in solo queue, nor probably do you get a lot of practice on this in scrim, so we'll see how Damwon can react to it and play around it, because if this Aurelia gets ahead, it's very oppressive and difficult to play against. As Chovy looking like maybe he wants to recall. I think it might realistically just be a fake recall. Yeah, he's going to try to use Fog of War. Zoe's going to go run around for a little bit. Still has the Proto Belt, as this is Chovy's first pick this season.
Yeah, hasn't actually played it in 2020. Certainly put a lot of time in it when it was more of the relevant pick in the mid lane. But it has been played so far by Doran as far as DRX are concerned, but not Chovy just yet. And so we'll see whether it is a similar story to that of the Aatrox, where as soon as Chovy picks it up, it looks like a much more scary champion. As, so far we've had DRX avoiding a lot of the abilities on the bottom side, but oh my god, okay, as I say it, Deft is going to very handily win out a trade, as Ghost is going to attempt to pick up some of these leaves and keep himself healthy, as Keria might be face-checking at the wrong time. There's the flash forward, but a brilliant Black Shield is going to make sure that no knockups do come down. Magical Journey, not going to find anything there, as Beryl's still taking a lot of damage here from Deft, who's completely out of mana. We'll have to eat some of these bickies to try and get that mana back, and does so as I say it.
Now Doran up here in top lane. We'll see what kind of itemization he goes for, as Pioshek is actually coming in here. Q should be... Oh, no.
Yeah. Noguri going to get knocked up here as Pioshek looks to come in, but isn't able to land the Arctic Assault, and Noguri is just going to turn it on its head. That could have almost been a kill there on the Doran, but Bellow's Breath is going to lock down these minions. Noguri almost able to get that kill, as Doran's going to teleport back to this lane.
And Doran teleporting back, if he builds the Bomby Cinders, it's a massive mistake, because you barely get any HP, and then in addition to that, you're never utilizing the Bomby's passive. So going immediately into Bramble Vest is pretty ideal against the Jace. It makes it that much more difficult for Nuguri to try to do anything as the Jace up here in top lane. Teleport does come out. Now, Spellbook's going to be available in 30 seconds. All the other lanes are pretty stable, as Chovy is actually slightly ahead of Showmaker in the CS department. This time around, Ghost doing okay in CS.
Doing absolutely fine.
Yeah. Deft and Keria not able to find the kind of advantages that one would have hoped for, and Pioshek not finding a lot of value either on the Sejuani.
It feels like Ghost is still getting poked about as much as he was in the previous games, but this time around, Beryl being on the Bard has helped Ghost stay in this lane. As able to offer a little bit more than the Yuumi and the Set were able to, is now Deft taking a really bad trade there, as the rest of DRX are taking down this Ocean Drake at 6.5 minutes in the game. But Deft, with the minion advantage, is going to be able to lock this one up. We do have Mountain Soul or Cloud Soul this game, as Doran at least avoids the Empowered Shock Blast, but he needs to try and keep this within about 20 CS, I think. And then the Ornn is not going to be feeling too bad. The Black Shield comes in. That's going to save Carrier for the moment. Arcane Shift does the same for Ghost. This Canyon should be able to take down this Rift Scuttler without too much of a problem. And you can see Damwon already with a lot of control vision-wise around this map, but still unable to lock down the Drake in with priority. So not able to capitalize on it just yet.
And, oh, Ghost going really hard at Deft. Going to use the, True Shot Barrage. And Barrel actually a little bit slow to move. Maybe actually would have been able to get Deft's flash if he anticipated that Ezreal ult to end up hitting. And this is a good, oh man.
Okay, acceleration gate. Flash from Nogger. He's going to get himself out of the way. As you can see, Canyon, he's on his red buff, so he's not actually coming up to try and help out at all. And the amount of pressure that Nogger is absorbing this game is just insane.
Yes.
As there's the ulti out of depth, able to land a lot of damage, and Beryl is going to give first blood over to the Varus.
Yep, and that's going to be Deft having the first blood, and that's going to be really good because they're not finding a lot of success in the jungle nor the top side. And Pioshik not even really playing Path of Exile this game, as he's behind. Several camps, he's behind in a lot of tempo because he went for those ganks and they just really didn't pan out. And Doran he's falling further and further behind the Jace right now, and I say that mostly because normally this would be fine. You're down 19, 18 CS to the Jace at 10 minutes or something. That's pretty reasonable. But Nuggery has a call as well, and Doran shared a lot of XP.
Yeah, and wasn't able to actually get any kills or anything like that. Now we've got Noggery without a flash, but they need to come back and actually capitalize on it as Deft gets level 6 and immediately flash ultis. And that is a very dead Barrel.
Well, let's take a look at what is going to happen, though, as the first dragon did go over. Oh, no, yeah, Nuggery, I'm actually a little surprised. Nuggery doesn't have teleport, and yet Doran let the wave into the turret, even though he has double refillable potion Biscuit. He could have just froze a wave, and this next wave that you can see moving up into top lane, that one would have died as well as the next one. Both the junglers you know are on the right-hand side of the map, and so now instead, Jace is just going to use his gate to get back to the lane, and I'm unsure. I guess Doran wants to recall, but there's nothing to recall towards. He also has Bomby Cinder. So I guess probably thinking that it's a little bit more difficult to freeze. And this is one of the problems this item can have. We've seen in LEC and LCS, double Ruby into Chain Vest allows you a lot more control over the lane. You have more options. You also have more trade potency because of the extra HP and the added resistances.
And Canyon just going to Dolphin slide his way out of his base as the tunnel network set up so that he can go back a lot faster. And yeah, everything about what Doran's decided to do as far as these items are concerned is a little bit worrying. But the rest of DragonX certainly doing it absolutely fine. Chovy 20 CS ahead in a melee versus ranged matchup as Canyon has found Doran. And Doran's probably going to have to flash. He's not even going to have the opportunity to do so as Noggery just takes down that kill. And this is how the Jace gets completely out of control.
Well, that is going to be also Monomune on Jace as the item, so he's going to be very on par with the Ezreal and the Zoe in terms of what they're trying to achieve. Rift Herald going to be summoned, and this is looking very similar to game number 3, where the top side is just bleeding. However, Chovy's doing really good in mid lane against Zoe, and so it's a 2,000 gold deficit right now, and all of that is in top lane. And Nuggery's the scary player. It's going to be hard for DRX, potentially in the later stages, against this Jace. And Deft and Carrier, they're not even really getting turret plates this game. They're going to get one, but that should be the last one.
Yeah, and Deft now looks for the ultimate, finds it there as Tempered Fate onto the turret. Ghost almost gets popped as Beryl, not sure why he stunned up the turret there, maybe trying to deny a turret plate. I'm not sure whether he actually did, as there's the Flawless Duet as it lands onto Canyon. Can they actually get it before the ultimate? The answer's no, and Canyon just locks down the kill. And Damwon are finding everything this game.
Well, Damwon...
Blast Cone, interesting.
They are in a really good position right now. They're going to be able to pick up the Infernal Dragon, I assume, as Ezreal making his way back down. but things are...
Carrier finds an ulti onto Beryl, is going to get stunned up by the Soul Shackles, but Showmaker moves on in. Black Shield going to wear off, but Beryl's going to be okay for now. As Doran into the mid lane, is trying to keep it alive. Is Deft even going to get tagged by that True Shot Barrage? Is the bottom lane not winning by nearly the margin that they wanted to at this stage, and everything else going wrong.
And you can see Doran, he's up here hitting the ward. He's trying to clear it out. He has his ultimate available, so he probably felt safe against just Jace in isolation, especially given that Sejuani was in close proximity. Take a look at Chovy. He senses blood in the water. Vanguard's Edge comes out, cleanses, lands the Flawless Duet really quick, but then Nuguri there as well. Nice rotation by him, 2,500 gold advantage, and it looks like an Infernal Dragon, unless Varus is somehow a hero, and no, Varus isn't even here.
No, he's no
Take it away.
Yeah, so it's going to be very comfortable. Cloud Soul once again. And that might actually be good news for DRX fans, to be honest, having a less valuable Drake, as the Dark Bindings searching for Ghost and Beryl, but unable to really find them, is still a lot of damage potential out from Deft if he lands this poke. It's Nuguri that's really scary, as yet another ulti lands. Ghost going down extremely low as the Dark Binding comes in. Pyoshik lying in wait, but he's standing on top of a control ward, so Damwon knows exactly what's going on. And Carrier goes golden for some reason. Canyon down here towards bottom side, just looking to try and defend as Deft and Carrier looking for this next turret plate. Another Dark Binding lands as Beryl's going to go down to the Tormented Soil. As Ghost half health, but no more minions remain. And DRX, they're able to get at least one there as Pyoshik off to the side. Will have to flash, I believe, Arctic Assault on cooldown, but the rest of Damwon not actually going to chase after him, so he should be able to make it out and hold on to his flash at this moment.
Yeah, and they're finding some success on the bottom side of the map. This is actually going to be the third turret plate down in bottom, so they actually did manage to get a couple more than I think that I would have given them credit for. But again, the story still remains. This Jace is massive. Black Cleaver, Monomune already. Don't know how close to... Oh, man.
Yep, this Paddle Star is going to hurt, but avoids... Well, the ultimate was avoided there by Canyon. Permafrost is going to come in, though, but not before that kill actually comes down. Great knock-up there from Doran, but the portal jump is going to mean that Showmaker avoids that CC. Knock-up from the Searing Charge, but it looks like Doran's still going to fall down as Nuguri grabs it with a Shock Blast. Chovy clears out the minions, and Carrier does land a really nice Dark Binding as the Magical Journey gets Beryl to safety. And DRX, they just don't have the damage or the manpower to lock this one down, and Nuguri looks like he's literally shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, and basically what's happening here is like Chovy can't manage to find any sort of an opening, and Doran was greeting so hard under the mid-tier one, was completely unnecessary to go for the trade that he ended up taking, and then flashes away too late, ends up getting killed. And also remember, Pyoshik whiffed his ultimate, and this is feeling like all of the weight is going to fall onto Deft and Chovy to somehow come up with a miracle inside of these team fights. As you take a look at a replay from a little bit ago, as the binding just lands pretty point blank. I mean, that was a really standard kill. It went over to Carrier, which I don't really mind when it's a mage or an enchanter. Support. And right here, Chovy does lose a lot of his HP, but the ultimate goes wide on the Sejuani. The ultimate from Doran comes out, and you see him. He keeps moving forward, turns around, throws the Q, ease, and then Bellows, I don't know, Alice. Don't know what to say, and Damwon probably were very grateful for his decisions there.
Yeah, pretty gifted. As Chovy does at least still have that 30 CS advantage. We've got Shirley being taken down as Pyoshik moves on over. He's not going to go for any sort of steal or anything like that. You can see control vision here for Damwon in the mid lane, so Beryl and Showmaker are very comfortable. Showmaker even picking up an exhaust there to help him out even further. Chovy's now in a side lane, though, and the Aurelia can be scary, as his Blade of the Ruin King also completed, as we've got 3 turret plates going over to DRX, but that is a lot more that belong to Damwon, 8 in total, and very close to 1,300 gold accrued just for that. 16.5 minutes ticks over. We've got a minute until that Cloud Drake that we were talking about, as Doran once again finds himself having a bit of a headache as Shirley comes in. Great Dark Binding is going to land there, but it's not going to alleviate anything, not going to interrupt any Rift Herald spawns or anything like that. And that economic turret that you talk about is once again going to be taken down by Damwon.
Yeah, Damwon end up getting it. They extend the gold advantage to currently 3,000 inside of this game, and things are just
That's
looking...
still 100% top lane, by the way.
Yeah. It's all on the Jace, and so it's still going to come down to the team fights regardless, and we will see what ends up happening. But Clouds, it does mean that DRX is bailed out. They're allowed to try to scale up a little bit more, and more wiggle room for them. It's not like Cloud Dragon is completely irrelevant to Damwon, but you look at their champions and nothing really stands out as a champ that says, wow, I really need to cast my ultimate off cooldown.
Yeah. It's not exactly the highest value Drake. I'm not going to give them too much more there, as Pyoshik is a little bit behind enemy lines, but has Chovy down here. Canyon, Prey Seeker does find the piggy. Carrier is here. Deft is moving on over as well. Looks like DRX do want to fight, because Nogre is going to flash the ultimate. Still, Ornhorn is available, and there's Chains of Corruption landing onto Canyon. He's going to try and flash away. The Ram is going to land, but it's not enough damage, as Ghost's able to avoid a lot of that. Paddlestar does so much work, as now Nogri, once again with the Shock Blast, is very scary, and there goes Chovy, trying to find Ghost, but Magical Journey gets him out of the way. Pyoshik going to get body blocked and flashes to get himself over. Meat Slap, not enough, as now Showmaker finds himself a Blade of the Ruined King, and Chovy, the flawless duet, doesn't do it. Brambleback actually saving the life of the Aurelia. And now Doran just trying to be a meat shield here for DRX, but the damage has been done. Damwon poked them out and should be able to take this Drake as True Shot Barrage. Not going to take down Pyoshik there. Oh, Carrier! Okay, never mind.
Whoa! He stole the Cloud Drake!
I hope it was a Tormented Soil. Especially because that's not the name of the ability anymore.
You know that would be the best. If it was indeed a Tormented Soil, it's the best kind of a steal.
Mm-hmm. I think it's 100%. Almost better than a Rakan Gleaming Quill steal, because that does negative damage.
Well, we'll see what it was, as we're going to take a look at the replay here, and this is definitely a bit of a chaotic team fight. So Chovy goes in, Vanguard's Edge onto Ghost, and you can see Ghost and Beryl, they take the Magical Journey over to the left-hand side. You can see Deft trying to act as a gatekeeper and try to suffocate Damwon from being able to get over to Chovy. Brambleback sort of getting in on the action, blocks the Zoe bubble. And then let's take a look at this. What is it? Is it the Tormented Soil, or?
I think it's just a Dark Binding.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
almost killed Canyon as well.
That would have been a 2-for-1 for the ages, as still 3,500 gold is the advantage. Aurelia trying to build Blade of the Ruined King. And interestingly enough, that's good synergy with the bars, because Aurelia does get in.
Chovy grabs himself a kill, has the Black Shield as well, so Chovy's going to be very scary as this game goes on, because he'll be CC immune, and right now has a 60 CS advantage, as you can see.
This is going to be very interesting, as he's forced to use the Blade of the Ruined King, try to steal away, as Canyon is also getting a Black Cleaver. Jace, Black Cleaver, and Lord Dominic's regard up there for him.
Very anti-tank.
Yeah.
Wanting to sit in that side lane and deal with Doran. I was expecting him to continue down the lethality path, but it looks like he has atoned for his sins in the past. As Doran goes back, he's building towards his Abyssal Mask now. And, you know, he's 40 CS behind. This is not an Ornn that's having a very good time this game, but he will still be on as the game progresses, and that is good news here for DRX.
He's already dinged 13, and so not too soon until he ends up upgrading ornaments. And Morgana already has Zhonya's, so that's a nice ultimate against Damwon, or that's a nice Ornn upgrade against Damwon. Generally, supports don't really get anything of value in terms of ornament upgrades. Often it's just Salvation or Circlet of the Iron Solari.
Yep. Nogre's going to be exhausted. Doran had to use that one himself. We'll cycle that flashback now with heal still available. Now, Showmaker on the top side, not exactly the greatest of side lane champions, as Chovy clears out this minion wave very easily. Kyoshik is just lying in wait as defense. Just about clearing vision on both sides. Change.
And not much is happening right now in this game.
Able to pop carrier there, and also got the Zhonya's cooldown out as well. He's going to be up again in 20 seconds, but I have a feeling Damwon will be able to take down this Drake in the meantime. And this poke composition, they've really figured out how to use it around this mid-game. And there it is. Cloud Drake finally picked up by Damwon. I sort of assumed that this would be moving to Soul Point, but Kerry is stealing that last one away. Has certainly changed things, as Def now does have the Wraith Blade available.
Yep.
And we're still yet to put Might of the Ruin King onto Chovy, but Doran able to divvy out a lot of extra money. So you can see, as far as the gold lead is concerned, I mean, it's very, very close, given actual battle stats on this map right now. So it's all about how these teams play out their compositions, and so far Damwon look to be doing it better.
Yeah. Damwon are ahead right now, about 3.3, 3.5k, so that has remained true. And you can see this is just DRX getting really overeager on trying to defend this mid-tier 2 turret, and Showmaker just going forward with the Paddle Star. That easily could have been Pyoshik dying, and I think if that happened, that would have been a Baron capture.
Yeah.
Almost for sure.
Ooh, as Chovy was faking out a Black Cleaver and instead finishes off his Trinity Force. I love it. I was really worried that we were going to get Black Cleaver Aurelia, and that was going to be really, it's just, my co-caster would have maybe left, and that's not what we want.
Chovy does go in on lots of people and tries to apply lots of Black Cleaver stacks, and that's valuable for the Varus, who is the lethality of Varus, because he's going to be raining arrows as Aurelia's front line as, okay, Doran.
Well, ulti going to be thrown back there as the Rek'Sai's just exploded. Doran, the Tempered Fate does come down, but now Chovy is getting control of this fight. Showmaker picks up a Zhonya's, doesn't have to use it just yet, but Damwon Gaming are on the run. Piercing arrow, flash forward, Showmaker presses his buttons, but it's not over yet. The Comet comes down, the next piercing arrow, enough to deal with the Zoe, and now there's barely any defense for Damwon. There's only the bottom laner left standing, and DragonX, they waste no time. They've started the Baron already.
And well, Chovy now is, I mean, he's the commander in this game on the Aurelia. He's so scared.
The Dark landed. Ghost is going to be able to take down Carrier, but he has to sacrifice himself for it. Feels very similar to the KT game, where it was Ghost putting himself in harm's way. As Def not going to take that magical journey. They'll take the Baron, and they'll move on.
And so, right now in this game, let's take a look at this replay here. Nuguri jumps on to Doran, and then he was doing really good trading away and said, no, your team's over there, as he knocks them back into safety of DRX. The Bard ultimate also not getting a whole lot of value. Showmaker barely able to get away. Deft chasing down, and like a sniper, comes in on Varus, manages to bring down Showmaker as well. As Keria doing a really good job this game, by the way. Super fantastic performance. As that binding, that was
collected.
Yeah, that was like a magnet or something. I don't even know what to think right there, but Baron buff.
It was a heat seeker.
Yeah.
It was heat-seeking Dark Binding. That is one that you get when you're very good at Morgana. That's how that works.
Trinity Force picked up, actually, by... Or Trinity Fusion, I'm sorry, was the construct.
Yep, I like calling it Quadra Force.
Okay.
Makes me happy.
What about the Ornn Force?
Ooh.
You think it...
Okay, I'm okay with it. Bellow's Breath here keeps Doran out of any sort of CC lock. Pyosik moving on around as well as DRX with their Baron buff, using it to take down this outer turret in mid lane. Proclaim themselves the gold lead finally in this game. As Arctic Assault, not even necessary there by Pyosik. There's 1 minute left on this Cloud Drake, and it will move DRX to Soul Point. Now able to move through the enemy jungle towards this inner turret bottom lane if they would like to. Thinking about starting a fight potentially as Searing Charge gets Doran out of the way. Doesn't take too much damage there either. Another Bellow's Breath, and he avoids all of the CC. And DRX now just moving into the mid lane. This is some pretty clean macro play coming out from these guys, and they should be able to have inside track. Probably should be able to take this turret down, and they do so in a few auto attacks there by the Varus. He doesn't attack fast, but when he does, he hits real hard. As Ghost gets taken down to half health, just as if to prove my point.
And Cloud Dragon is coming up in 20 seconds, but the gold lead right now in favor of DragonX. Remember, though, the Infernal. That is giving over a lot of stats. The scary thing, though, is that the ornaments are all online now as well. Unfortunately, a stone plate built yet again on Ornn. You can't win them all. Sometimes lost to Shopkeeper. Just it's a thing that happens.
And look, he lost lane as well, so he's allowed to. He's allowed to do that. It's totally fine. DRX are going to be able to get themselves to that Soul Point like we were talking about, as our True Shot Barrage attempts to steal it away, but isn't even able to soften up the members of DRX. As our Chovy is a raid boss. He is very, very large in this game. 80 CS in the lead. 84. Should probably give him full credit for the amount of minions that he's taken down this game, as our Chovy moves into the Shock Blast, which is not exactly what you want. Flawless Duet, not going to be able to find the mark either. As now Damwon move a little bit too late towards the bottom side river.
Well, this is one dragon now away from Cloud Soul. And the added bit of movement speed, I mean, it helps with Varus repositioning, helps with Morgana even, with her ultimate. And, I mean, the added mobility, it is something. But the game is still going to be really close. Even if DragonX gets it, it's not a game-ending dragon. It's not on the same level as Ocean. So I think Ocean is the Z-tier dragon.
Yep.
And then Infernal is like S-tier, and then Mountain's like A, and then Ocean, or Cloud is sort of like B-tier.
F.
Yeah, I mean, F's in chat for Cloud Soul.
Yeah, that's going to come down again. I mean, Pyosik does want to throw out a lot of ultimates, I guess. Fishing. I mean, you can do that a lot more effectively when you've got a 3-stack of Cloud Drakes, and being able to move faster afterwards is good for Keria, Deft, Chovy as well. He'll be able to reposition without having to use Blade Surge. Doran as well does like to start fights off, and then he can get into a good position as well. I mean, I think that the movement speed from the Soul buff itself is going to be strong. Even if the ultimate CDR isn't the end of the world here for these guys. And
Pyosik, not sure what item he's going for next. It seems like it's a little bit chilly maybe where he is, as he's got some null magic mantles. He's
just wants to wear them mantles. That's fine. He's it's an adaptive helm.
But a couple of scarves.
Yeah.
All right.
I just kind of wish that he had decided to build one of them masks. You know, those masks are pretty cool. You know, pretty fashionable. Doran can put that cool like red outline on it. You know, that Pyosik otherwise not going to have access to. So
getting redemption would actually probably be fine on Sejuani here. CDR, HP. I mean, it's another ornament upgrade. Just building into a random second item doesn't really change how Sejuani interacts in the game. And so it's always a bit saddening when tank junglers just skip the Ornn upgrades, especially given how good they synergize even with Cinderhulk, because you get that much more extra value out of the Masterwork craft. So we're just waiting 2 minutes until Cloud Dragon. And Jovi's been locked on the same items, though, for a while.
Yeah, it's only been this stopwatch that he's picked up. Probably looking for Sterix and a GA or something like that as his last couple of items. See where he does decide to go in the end. He might want even more magic resist, and therefore a Wit's End might work out. But so far, Deft has done over 50% of his team's damage, and we'll be looking to see what the Varus can get done as this game goes on. As Nogari splitting here on the bottom side, looking to finish off his tank killer build with a Blade of the Ruined King as his last item, and it absolutely will be able to do that. Also going to be able to mitigate a lot of his the CC available from the Ornn with that Edge of Night that he already has for himself. So Nogari is very scary, but Chovy's going to move on down here, and the Ornhorn does come through yet again. No knockup is going to come in, and not even going to be able to break the shield as he just moves on out, and the ultimate is not going to land. Doesn't quite pick the right angle. Does Pioshik. Is now with 1 minute left on the Cloud Drake. Ghost goes down extraordinarily low. It's another piercing arrow away from a dead Ezreal. As Keria does find the binding onto Showmaker, who cleanses it to try and get himself out. Doran having to flash the wall. Flawless Duet comes in. Canyon goes golden. Is now Showmaker back on his portal jump. But there's the Vanguard's Edge. The Ornn goes down. But can DRX actually find the team fight? Chovy is saying yes. As now he darts into the backline. Looks for Showmaker. As Ghost. Oh, that dark binding very, very close there as Chovy continuing to chase forward. As Showmaker goes golden. But he should be taken down. The Varus locks up the kill. Barrel goes down as well as the Blade Surges get Chovy in there. And DRX, it looked like they were losing at the beginning, but Chovy said no.
And that's going to probably be the nail in the coffin team fight. This is going to get them the Cloud Soul. It's going to get them the Baron as well. And I don't see a way back for Damwon in this game. The ornaments have all come out. I think Chovy, I'm not sure if he's building Death's Dance or if he's building Locket of the Iron Solari to be a team player. But that would be impressive as well. As you can see, he accounted for the fact that Ghost might try to make this play and go for the Dragon. He's going to try to act as the gatekeeper right now. Canyon's here as well. That's a level 18 Aurelia, but it doesn't seem like he wants to bite off anything more than he could chew, and Chovy's actually just going to let it go away. Nuggery.
Yep, Nogari coming down. There's the Vanguard's Edge once again, and Chovy does go golden. There's the Ornhorn to try and get some backup as Chovy is eventually going to fall. So that is one of the Barons down, and it's on their key split pusher. So that is bad news for DRX, but maybe not the end of the world, as they still have close to a 4,000 gold lead. They'll lose their red buff. But now with Baron available, this Damwon push on the bottom side is going to be more difficult.
And I want to point something out. So DRX went for the Baron over the Cloud Soul, and we harped on about it in game number one.
Nogari?
Okay, Nogari is biting off a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe more than he can chew, as now Ghost has found Pioshik, but he's taking a lot of damage from Deft. Tempered Fate lands only onto Keria, as Doran is very, very low. Shock Blast not going to find the target there, as Edge of Night is available on Deft, so he's not going to be stunned up or anything like that. True Shot Barrage, not enough damage onto Doran, because of course he's a very tanky boy, so that mitigation is going to be there. But so far, it's a negative Baron power play, and that's going to continue. Negative 700 right now. As Damwon, they are still a force to be reckoned with.
Well, it looks like DRX are going to lose actually a lot of tempo. So I said that I thought there was no way.
무조건이야, 무조건.
Said, of course we went
무조건 빼는 쪽으로.
And
제이스? 한 빼봐, 나 딜 못해줘, 일단. 야, 초비가 알아서 해, 그냥. 알아서 해, 이제.
I got it.
야, 이제 맞았는데? 나 아니네. 조이 노플. 나 불실대. 불실 2초. 초비 믿고 가, 그냥. 그래, 이제 비전 빠졌고. 끝낼래? 끝내러 가?
Can we end? And then right here, Chovy. Unfortunately, Edge of Night, I believe, was on the Jace, right? So the Flawless Duet did not end up getting a stun off.
Not quite able to wait out the cooldown of the Blade Surge there either. And it was the Death's Dance. That is going to be 40% CDR, now completed for the Aurelia. As True Shot Barrage is going to do a bit of damage there to Deft, as you can see. And the Baron buff still has 40 seconds to go, and that will mean this inner turret is going to fall. So that will equalize this Baron power play, but -9 is not exactly the Baron play that you want to be making, as it's even going to diminish as Damwon pick up all of those minions that are flooding forward. So DRX do wrestle back some control of the map, but still, it has not changed that gold gap one iota.
Yep. And we're getting at the full item point on both of these teams. Everyone is fully decked out with items as Warmogs on Ornn because...
Why not?
I guess we're allergic to Redemption and Solari. Don't want to give the carry and teammate players hundreds of gold worth of free stats.
No.
All right.
No Knight's Veil either. That's cheating.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Can't do that.
We wouldn't want to do that. We'd want to get the Warmogs for the fights that we never activate its passive in.
Yeah.
So, fantastic.
And now we've got some pings out, and that actually gave things away, I think, as Doran's just going to move the heck out of there. As Carrier going to have to go golden to avoid dying to a stray Paddle Star. So DRX, they just get the cleanse out of Showmaker. He barely didn't have his flash available, as now goes to Arcane Shifts. But the bubble is going to deter any further engagements.
Well,
Nogri splitting on the bottom side. There's only an inhibitor turret there, as Doran a little bit late moving on down to try and defend. There are pings out. Nogri might actually just be able to take this. Remember, he does a lot of damage. 6-item Jace is going to tear apart this turret. Searing Charge, not enough. And Nogri, like we were talking about, able to take down the turret in one minion wave. Chovy trying to do the same thing on the top side. Not going to take any damage from the Ezreal here whatsoever. I actually thought that... did that? I think the True Shot Barrage hit. It just didn't do any damage? Is that... what? That was weird.
Well,
looked like it hit.
The scary thing about this game right now is that Damwon, now they have an exposed inhibitor. They have a clear line to victory, and now DragonX are trying to shove out bottom and get this lane in a better position, because now it's going to come down to Cloud Soul. And this is going to be 6 items versus 6 items pretty much across the board. Aurelia with a Chain Vest, so I wonder...
He actually sold his broken stopwatch for a Chain Vest because he couldn't quite afford the Guardian Angel and wanted as much defensive statistics as possible in this next team fight. It's going to be fighting for Cloud Soul on both sides, as Doran is extraordinarily tanky. He's knocking on the door of 5,000 health, but they still need to try and find a team fight that they can actually do, as Pyosik gets completely chunked. And level 15... not exactly at the level that you want to be right now, as Canyon has the level advantage in the jungle, so this smite is going to be more effective from him. Nogre splitting on the bottom side, an impossible decision for DRX. And Damwon, they've made it to the Cloud Soul.
Yeah.
As DRX opt in for pushing the mid lane instead, and Nogre is going to get a free red buff once again.
And this is looking really scary for DRX. They are... okay, so Damwon is 16-1 win rate with Dragon Soul. I'm curious how many of those are Cloud Souls.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most valuable, as Pyosik thinks he might have found Ghost on the backline, but the Flawless Duet doesn't find anyone. Canyon trying to dive out of there. He should be able to do so, as the real fight is happening on the bottom side. Nogri flashing after Doran, as Pyosik just going to fall down. Great Dark Binding is going to land, as Nogri is going to be able to pick up that kill as we expected. Goes down to half. Chovy fighting after Beryl. Flashes back over his magical journey as Carrier gonna go golden, and Showmaker flashing out of there. Carrier looks for the Soul Shackles, doesn't find it, as now Chovy with a last little bit of this black shield is gonna follow Beryl once again, and he's just kiting him around. Deft trying to find Canyon, will put him down into his GA, but yeah, Damwon should be able to just take down the base. Ghost has teleported in, and Deft cannot make his way back. This Nexus is going to be taken down, and now it's match point for both teams, as Damwon bring it